Hi everyone, this is Jo from Math Tutor Me. Today we're doing some more Pythagoras' theorem, and today we are going to use Pythagoras' theorem to find one of the shorter sides of a right angle triangle. So last time we had the formula c squared equals a squared plus b squared. What we're going to do is change our formula around to get one of the shorter sides by itself. So I'm going to get the b by itself, which means I want to subtract the a squared over to the other side. So c squared minus a squared is equal to b squared. And that's this formula here. If I just put the b squared first, b squared equals c squared minus a squared. So this is the formula we did last time. And this is the formula that we're using today. It is really the same formula, but we're just rearranging it. Some people don't like rearranging formulas, so that's why you can just memorize this one if you don't like rearranging formulas yourself. So let's get started with some questions. We want to find the value of the pronumeral correct to 2 decimal places in this question. So, like last time, our hypotenuse is the side straight across from the right angle, and it is always called C. So 13 here is going to be called C. The side we want to find, because we've got our formula here with B by itself, if we're trying to find this side here, we want that to be our B, which makes this one A. So if I write down our formula for to find the shorter side, b squared equals c squared minus a squared. And we substitute in b is y, so y squared equals c13 squared minus a squared, a is 8, so 8 squared. Use the calculator to type this in and find out what that is. Y squared is equal to, let's find out, 13 squared minus 8 squared equals 105. We want to get y by itself. To get rid of a squared, the opposite thing to do is to square root 105. And we use our calculator to square root 105 to 2 decimal places. So 10.24 would be 2 decimal places, but because my next number is a 6, I will round that up to be a 5. 10.25 centimeters is the length of y. Alright, let's try that again for this question here. The hypotenuse straight across from the right angle is this one, so that is C. I am trying to find this side, so I will call it B, and the other one will be the A. Let's write the formula down. B squared equals C squared minus A squared. Alright, let's substitute in. The B is K this time. So K squared equals 9.7 squared minus 6.3 squared. Type that in. 9.7 squared minus 6.3 squared equals, we get 54.4. But we still have to get rid of this squared here, which means we must square root 54.4. In the calculator. 1 decimal place, 7.3 would be 1 decimal place, but we have to round it up. So 7.4 meters is the length of K. Alright, I have a word question next. A cone has a radius of 4.5 centimeters and a slant height of 7.1 centimeters. Calculate the height of the cone. Whenever you have a word question, if you can draw a diagram, it's always helpful to do so. So I'm going to draw a cone. There's my cone. And it says the radius of the cone, so from the center out, there's the radius. The radius is 4.5 centimeters. And the slant height, which is this one here, is 7.1 centimeters. And it asked me to calculate the height of the cone, which would be, if I draw a dotted line down here, it would make a right angle with the base. That would be the side I want. I'm going to call it H for height. Alright, we have a shorter side here that we're trying to find. So we need our formula for shorter side, b squared equals c squared minus a squared. Then we substitute in. My hypotenuse is this one. This is the b. And this one down here is going to be a. So I have h there. My hypotenuse is 7.1. And my shorter side over here is 4.5 centimeters. Right, using the calculator, 7.1 squared minus 4.5 squared equals, we get h squared is equal to 30.16. To get rid of the squared, we square root 30.16 and type that in, square root of that. Didn't say how many decimal places. Let's stick with our 1 decimal place. These were in 1 decimal place. So we have 5 point, it is a 4 here, so we want to round that up to be a 5 centimeters. Okay, it's time for you to have a practice. To help you remember, I have put the formula here for you for the shorter side, b squared equals c squared minus a squared. So I want you to pause the video and have a try of these two questions, and then we'll go through the answers together. Okay, question number 1. Find the value of x correct to 2 decimal places. Well, here's my right angle. That must be my hypotenuse, meaning this must be a shorter side. So we'll call that b, and this one we'll call a. So we will need the formula b squared equals c squared minus a squared, and we'll substitute in. B is x, c is 19.2, and a is 11.8 squared. Use the calculator to find out what that is. 19.2 squared minus 11.8 squared equals x squared equals 229.4. Now we just have to get rid of the squared here, which means we square root the 229.4. On the calculator, square root that answer. We want 2 decimal places, so we have 15.14, but we'll have to round that up because we have a 5 here. So we'll have 15.15 millimeters. Okay, then we have a slightly more complicated question over here. Find the value of the pronumeral. K is what we're trying to find here. So I need to cut this shape. You remember to try and cut into rectangles and triangles. So let's cut across here. We get a nice rectangle and a nice right angle triangle. So K is actually going to be the same as this side here. We have 41 across here, which is our hypotenuse. That will be our C. And we can find this little side if we do 32 minus 26. That will tell us this little bit that sticks out here. So 32 minus 26 means that this little bit is 6 meters. Okay, so this, what we're trying to find, that's going to be the B. This will be the A. In our formula, hope you keep writing the formula down because it really does help you memorize it. So B is the K that we're trying to find. K squared equals C is 41 squared minus A, which is 6 squared. Type that in the calculator. 41 squared minus 6 squared equals K squared is equal to 1,645. Okay, we want K by itself, so I need to square root that number. Square root, and I'll stick with my 2 decimal places, so I'll have 40.55, but my next number is an 8, so I'll have to round that to be a 6. So 0.56, and that will be meters. Alright, hopefully you're doing pretty well with that, and keep practicing, practice, 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 and I'll see you next time for some more Pythagoras' theorem. Until then, see you later.